Hello, welcome. Good morning from San Francisco. My name is Noel, Community Manager here at Odoo San Francisco. Today I am joined by Jose, who will be talking about driving customer satisfaction with Odoo Help Desk. Welcome.
Thank you, Noel. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. As always, we'll be taking your questions in the chat. So if you have any questions that you would have either for myself or for Jose, please put them in the chat and we'll be able to answer them towards the end. If you have any questions, send an email to webinars@odoo.com, or if you wish to speak with Jose specifically, you can send him an email at jls@odoo.com. Let's see, with that being said, I believe that we are about ready to get started, so take it away,
Good.
Jose.
Good. Well, thank you, Noel. Thank you, everyone, for joining. My name is Jose Sosa, as Noel says. I'm a partnership executive here at Odoo. My main responsibility is to, deal with all those companies across the continent, North, Central, and South America, who are interested to implement Odoo to their final clients, to the customers. And my goal is to interact with them and create that relationship with these companies throughout the continent. But today I'm here to talk to you about how to manage your sales and pipelines on Odoo. If you're interested to hear about the partnership program, by the way, you just heard my contact information. You can go ahead and send me an email and I'll tell you more about it. As far as that is concerned, so let's go back to our presentation. Today I'm actually going to show you a little bit one of the most popular modules that we have in Odoo, which is the CRM and the sales. I'm going to walk you through what it takes to get leads, how leads get into the system. Then once we have those leads, how we actually convert those leads into opportunities, how we manage those opportunities, and then I'm going to take you through a flow between, for the moment, these opportunities become transactions, all the way from, again, opportunities all the way down to invoicing. So let's begin. We have the screen already. Perfect. So for those, most of you might be familiar already with the look of Odoo. The current version, which is 11, as you can see, is pretty clean. We see all the modules right here. These are the ones that I'm using. This is my database. Your look might look different depending on the modules that you're using, and that's one of the great parts of Odoo is the fact that you can use the models that you need specifically, so the look might change. And for those who are new to Odoo or just learning, so welcome. This is how Odoo looks like as of right now. A reminder and kind of like, a reminder of what we call users in Odoo. As you can see over here, there's my name. That means that I'm assigned into the system. That means I'm capable to enter the back of each module and make changes and edit information within the system. So that is actually what we define as users. Okay, so let's begin. We're gonna start with the CRM module right here. So we're gonna click on that. And the first thing we're gonna do is to check how leads get into the system. For that, the first thing I wanna make sure, if you go to pipeline right here, if I click on that, you see only pipeline and quotation options. I want to have access to the lead option. So for that, we go to configuration, and then we go to settings, and then we make sure that we click this little option right here for leads. Then we save that. And this is done this way. So for instance, in this case, I'm going to pretend to be a sales manager of an interior design firm that has a couple of salespeople under me, working under my responsibility. So I don't want them to have access to the list directly. I would like to manage that myself. So for that, I go ahead and click on this, so I'm able to see those. So if you go back to the CRM and we go to the pipeline menu, so that you see the leads already are showing up here. So when we click there, these are all the leads that I currently have under my system or pipeline. Let me show you how the different ways that we can get the leads. The first one could be very easy. We can import those leads. Let's say you already have a different existing system. It could be in a format of Excel, for instance, that you would like to transfer onto Odoo. So this is how you do it. You just go into the import. You just select the file. In this case, I don't have one to show you, but here's where you do it. And then the system will transfer or carry all that information into our system on Odoo. So that's one way to get a lead. The other one, of course, would be created, and for that, I'll show you. So we just clicked on Create Lead. We enter the information, whether it is the customer name. Let's say this is Sandra Lee, and it could be the company name as well, but for now, we're just going to leave it as her name. So obviously, Sandra is actually our contact. Let's change this to, I don't know, let's see, let's call it Flora Design. That would work better for the future. So we just enter that information that the customer gave to us. Maybe it was through a phone call or an email. So we collected that information somehow, and now we manually enter that into our system. So that, and we get a phone number. Perfect. Okay, so let's see, we just got that basic information from Sandra. We save that as well, and there it is. So when we go back to leads, then we can see that Flora is already part of a list right here. Right now, this is the list view. We have another view called Campaign within the menu. So when we click on that, we see the same information of the clients in a different way, just a little bit, it's just in a boxy way kind of thing, where you can see just the main information as the company and contact name just being displayed. But for this, we're going to just leave it, put it back on the list menu. So that's one way to enter it. And there is another way that you can get leads, and that is through the website. Let's say we have a website that has a contact page where customers can come in and just easily want us to contact them or somehow ask any questions. So here's the page where they can do that. So let's say Sandra actually came into the system. Actually, it's going to be another customer. Let's call her Anna Smith. She just, again, leaves the phone number and then her email. Okay. Let's say her is called, I don't know, River Creates. And then the subject is she is interested, let's say, in a design consultation. And one of the sofas that we have displayed on the website, right? And then she just leaves a note, so she's interested in your services. Okay, so Anna came in, entered that information, press send, and what happens to our system is that once we go back to leads under the CRM menu, then we have a new contact right there from Anna Smith on design consultation. That's what she wants. So these are the three main ways that we can collect leads on Odoo. So once we have this all these leads from all these sources, then we have the possibility to convert them into opportunities. Like I said, for this example, I'm pretending to be a sales manager and I have salespeople under me, so I would like to send this to different salespeople in my team. To do that, I could just choose before we do that, let me just show you. If that wasn't the case, if I wanted all the opportunities to go to one person and all of them become opportunities, I just go to, just click, select all of them, and then go to Action. And then under the Action menu, you can see it says Convert Opportunities. So we can just easily do it that way, and it will convert all of them, or we can just actually select a couple of them. So it's pretty easy. But we can just do it manually, just from the from the lead itself. So for that, let's go back to the original one, Flora Design, which is Sandra Lee. You can see that over here, the lead already is asking me or giving me the options to convert this into an opportunity. So once I do that, I can go ahead and do that. Then we'll see a pop-up window just right here that is giving us a little bit more, is asking you for a little more information about these potential opportunities. So the first one is just convert it to an opportunity, just a simple one. But it also asks us to merge it with an existing opportunity. That means like, let's say Sandra Lee called early in the week or spoke to the associates already, and she's somehow on the system. We don't want those opportunities being floating around the system, so we want this to be part of one, just one file. In that case, we can just merge, select merge with an existing opportunity. We can find that opportunity here and then we merge it, but it's not the case. We'll keep it then with convert to opportunity. Right here, then we'll choose the person that we wanted to assign it to. Let's say I want this to be I want salespeople 3 to take care of this transaction. So here's where you would choose the person. Since once you choose a person, then this opportunity will go to that person's pipeline. But in order for this webinar, for you to take a look and see what happens to the opportunity, I just want to leave it under my name. So that way it remains visible under my pipeline. Okay, the sales channels, in this case is sales, and the customer in this case is just a new customer. If you want to link Sandra Lee to another customer, existing customer within the system, maybe the same within the same company, we can select link to an existing customer, or just choose to have a separate customer for the same company. But in this case, it's just a brand new client, a brand new customer. So we just finish creating the opportunity. We just click on that, and that's it. So now Flora Design under Sandra Lee is a new opportunity. As you can see up here, the menu has changed. Now we have a few more options, and the other thing that changed, if you go to leads, is that the Flora Design is no longer within the list of leads. But if you go to pipelines, in this case, my personal pipeline, there she is. So we see that this lead is now an opportunity, and it's time for us to manage that opportunity. So far I've shown you the different ways Odoo collects information for clients, and how leads land into the system, or how we enter them to the system. And now I just show you how to convert that into opportunities. Now we have an opportunity that we need to manage. Before we move forward to that, I just want to welcome you officially to the pipeline look. As you can see, there are 4 stages right here. There are 4 columns. Each column, you can make changes to them. It's really easy. You can change the purpose of it. You can just name it whatever it applies to your business. And you can even add as many columns as you need. For this webinar, I'm just going to keep it simple. It's going to show basically the stages of a sale within the sales flow. And in this case, it's just new opportunity, qualify opportunity, proposition, and one. And I get more into details. You see they have different colors showing up here. Those colors are directly related to the schedule activities that we have for each opportunities. I'll show you that later, but basically the green ones are those activities that are scheduled for the future. The yellow ones are the ones that are scheduled and they are supposed to be taken care of today. And the red ones are the ones we scheduled but we missed, somehow didn't get done. Any spending on the system, that will show on red. The ones earned yellow and red will usually go up on top of the list, so that tells you that you need to take care of those immediately. So that, we'll get into that a little bit more into detail later. But let's go back to Flora Design. And there she is. She's a new opportunity. I would like to know what she's interested. Let's say she just called and let us know that she's interested in our service also, and one of the services that we offer. So we can go ahead and send a message and send an email. For that, we just go down here, what it says send message, that's where we start the creating the email. If you open the pop-up window right here with these two arrows over here, it gives you more options to edit the text. We can even start typing the email from scratch, or we can have a template created, and we can just select that from here. And if you do that, we just select that template, and it would just go ahead and just send the standard message to the client, which we might need just to change the name on the email. And this particular email, I wouldn't say what it says. It would be more like a reach out email, trying to introduce myself and try to find out what the client wants. But I wanted to show you how the template works. Of course, you can always delete it and type whatever you want to do. So let's say we did that and we send that to the client. And then let's say on the internal notes, I can go ahead, if I go to edit, we can go to internal notes and just make a note that we sent an email to Sandra. So that could be a simple note, it could be more detailed information, anything that you want to keep record on this particular transaction with this client. On the contact information, of course, if you have those, if you have the business information, this would be a great opportunity to go deeper with this client's info. And just to cover a little bit more down here, send message was the email option, how we send image from inside an opportunity. The log node is if I want to send a message to my salesperson internally from the opportunity, I can just say, for instance, I'm assigning you this new opportunity. Please call Sandra. So this way, so my salesperson number 3 would get this message directly via email. The customer won't read this, but it's a good way to keep the internal conversation inside that opportunity. So we log that in, and it will show then as record as well in the inside opportunity. And we want to follow up. So for that, we're going to schedule an activity in the future. Let's say I sent an email today, but I would like to call Sandra probably tomorrow. If I don't hear back in 24 hours, we can schedule this then for tomorrow. So here's the date, that's my name, the type of activity. You can choose whether you want to call her, have a meeting, maybe on Skype or something else. So for this, we're just gonna schedule just a call. So go ahead and schedule. And then you'll notice now that there is a green opportunity here, because in the future, so tomorrow we'll call this, and so it will show up on the pipeline in yellow tomorrow, reminding me that I have to call her. Okay, so we save that, and then we go to the pipeline, and you can see how the opportunity is still there now, and now it has the little reminder for tomorrow. One thing we can prioritize or just add the level of priority of the opportunity by just choosing the amount of stars in the system. Let's say if I'm gonna go back, edit, I can just choose, maybe I think she's high priority, so we save that. And again, on the pipeline, it will show, see how she went up a little bit because she's 2-star now. And there she is. So that's Flora design. That's one of the steps of how to manage the opportunities. I'll show you what is inside each opportunity and how you program these activities and deal with the information within an opportunity. So let's go to, well, let's see, we'll contact her. And she said that, well, I guess the notes were not safe, but let's say that she was interested in consultation. Let's do that. She's interested in design consultation and the hello yellow sofa that we have on the website, right? We spoke to her, that's what she told us, and then great, so we talked to her, she's interested in a service and a sofa. So the next thing we do, for me to do, since she is a qualified client, she's definitely interested in the service, is then to move it to under the qualified column. And for that, I can just either do it directly inside or from the opportunity itself by just clicking on qualified opportunity. And if I did that, if I go to the pipeline, you can see that she moved from new to qualified. The other way to do it is the easy way to do it is just by grabbing and dragging between the columns. One of the things that I could also enter is the expected revenue. Let's say this client, based on those items, I believe make about $2,000 probably out of this opportunity, and we'll probably be closing this opportunity by the end of the month. So I can choose the expiration or the expected closing of this opportunity by the end of the month. That is more detailed information that it will help you to see, you know, how far or the progress of the opportunity itself. So when we save that, go back to the pipeline and see the numbers change up here. That's because floral design numbers now has been added to this column. And when you move it or drag her among the other columns, you'll see the number comes with her and it gets dragged as well with this particular opportunity. Okay, so now we know the floral design is a qualified client. She wants the Hello Yellow sofa and the consultation. I want to make sure, as a sales manager in this case, that we do have that in stock. So for that, we're going to step out a little bit on the menu. We're going to visit a little bit the sales app. Once there, we're going to go to the catalog option, and we're going to select products. And on products, you can see the list of the products that we sell, in this case, and we have available. And on the Canva views right now, which is the one we mentioned before, we can see an image of the product, we see the price, and we see the inventory on hand. Of the yellow, Hello Yellow, so far we have 4 of them available. If you want to know more about this product, just click on that, and then it will take you more into details, how many sales we have. Apparently we already have 1. We have 3. Actually we have 4 in hand, but we're supposed to have 3. Apparently 1 of them already sold. And that's what information we get over here. So we actually counting on 3. So this is a good way to check the inventory and any other type of information that it gets managed here. If you're interested in how to manage products and inventory, there are webinars already dedicated to these subjects. So go ahead and go to the YouTube channel and search for those particular webinars. But I just wanted to bring you here so you can have an idea how we look into the sales app for this. Of course, you can do this as a list view and just send me information. And the good thing about this part is you can always move the product, drag it up and down by just grabbing it by this arrows over here. So, okay, Canva views, that was the product. So let's go back to our main menu and go back to the CRM and back to our floral design opportunity. So we know that the sofa is available. The consultation is always available, it's a service. So we need to send a quotation to Sandra. So this is the way we're going to move forward with this transaction, with this particular opportunity. So to create a quotation, we have it over here. We have an invitation from the opportunity itself. One thing that I meant to show you on the sales module, and I'll do it right away, is that once you open it, the first thing you see is a quotations page, so you can easily come to sales module and create a new quotation. You will look for the client and fill all the information, and you would have a quotation. But we're going to do it directly from the opportunity. So go to Floral, go to new quotation, and then there we are. So obviously the customer is already selected. If you need to change or add more information, we can do it over here. So just let me show you again. We go to the name of the client, the customer. Just click on this pop-up window. It will bring it up. Then we can change the information. Let's say instead of Sandra Lee, I want to change this opportunity to floral design. All right, and then Perfect. And then Sandra is actually going to be our contact person. So we can go ahead and add, and then we enter Sandra here. Oop. There we go. And of course, we can just enter, in this way she's the owner. She's the decision maker. I cannot spell owner. There we go. And of course, all her contact information that we already have, but let's pretend it's already there. We save and close. So now we have the company, all the information for the company, and the contact person of the company. So we define that a little bit. So the expiration date would be, if you want to just give her this quotation, but you don't want to wait forever. Let's say, hey, you have until Friday to make this purchase. Then you do that by adding an expiration date. Within Odoo, with our system, it's possible to create a template for quotation. Let's say you have a very popular item, or you have a combination of items that you constantly give quotations for. You don't have to enter all the time manually. You can create templates where you can select that, and all those products will show automatically. In this case, we don't have one, but here's where it would show. And then the payment terms for this, let's say we're going to give her just immediate payment. As soon as she wants to move forward, she needs to pay for this. So in this case, we're just going to add the item manually. We're going to do the, we're going to look for the hello yellow sofa. There it is. And once we select it, we see the description. We select the quantity. She wants one. The price, the tax, and the subtotal. She also wants the design consultation from us. There it is. So you can see then at the bottom, you see the total including taxes. So this is the quotation. This is pretty much what we need. Suggested products would be, you can list products that you can suggest to a particular client, and the way we work is once the client receives the quotation, then they would see this list of suggested products, and they can choose directly from the quotation. And any other information, there's also, here's where you would change that. You can make it possible for the client to pay directly once they receive the quotation. So I'm going to go ahead and enable that option for online payment. Okay, so once everything is there, we just save the quotation, and it goes from new to a number. So now we have, the quotation has a very unique number, and for this particular transaction. Okay, so that is what we do. We can either, at this point, we can just send we can print this, if that's an option, if you want that, or you can just send it to Sandra, in this case, the client, directly via email. So we're gonna do that. You can just go ahead and send an email. It will show you a preview of what she's gonna see at the bottom, and see how a green button, this says accept and pay online, is now available. And the email also comes with an attachment with a PDF copy of that quotation. Perfect, so it looks good. We're just gonna go ahead and email Sandra with that. Perfect, see the menu changed once again. Now the next option would be confirm sold. We'll do that once Sandra accepts this quotation and submits payment to us. See the status went from quotation to quotation sent. Now if you go back, if you click over here where it says the Flora Design tab, it will take us back to the original profile of Flora Design of the client. You can see that now it shows he has a quotation. So anytime we want to access that quotation from the opportunity, we can go to this option right here, and it would take us directly to the quotation. We can make notes again that we sent that to her, and we can just create another opportunity, make a phone call. Any movement that happens with the opportunity, here's where you make those changes and take note of that. If you want anyone else besides me and her to get an email, then here's where you would add and tag people to get all these emails that we're sending from the opportunity. All right, so once again, Now she's not a qualified. Now she has a preposition, which has sent a quotation. So she has changed the status right here. So we can do it internally, but let's go back to the pipeline menu. And I think it's more fun if you do this. I like it better. If I just drag the client to preposition and see, and then again, the expected revenue amount also moves with her. I'm not sure if we're exactly right with the total. Let me take a look. We're actually going to do 22, so we're going to leave it in 2,000 as a expected revenue. Okay, so right now then we have floral design now as a preposition. Sorry, she is taking a look at the quotation of what she really wanted from us. So in the meantime, let me show you something real quick. If we go to list view for a minute, we can see the same information and the status of all these opportunities within the pipeline. We can see the stages, for instance, this one is a new one, but this one is a one. That means this is a closed opportunity already. And we can see floral right here is on preposition. And if you look at probability, the system does this, that it goes from 10 to 100% probability depending on the stage of the cell. So all new opportunities are 10%. That means the probability for that client to close or to finish this whole cell process. And the ones that are 1 are 100. So right now, floral design, it's on 70% or 70 probability, 70 points, I think. So she's almost there. So she moved from 10 to 70 right now. But here's where you look at that. Here's where you see where the client is. So we go back to the Canva views. And let's say we got an email from Sandra telling us that she really wants to pay for this. She's ready to go. So let's go by the quotation and let's pretend that she sent already payment. She paid online, she paid through the quotation. We received the payment, and what we do then is just confirm the sell. At that point, we just do that. The system immediately pops up an icon for delivery. That means that now this Hello Yellow sofa is ready to be shipped, and we can track that again under the inventory app, another webinar that we have. And then we can then move forward with creating the invoice. So we create the invoice, we just choose on the options that is showing right here. We're just going to do with the default one, which is invoiceable lines. And we created view invoices. There we go. So that's the invoice, and everything looks good. We validate, and then here it is. So the invoice is good to go. She hasn't paid yet according to this, but we can do that as well by register payment. Let me see if this takes it right here. We validate the payment, and here we go. This invoice has been paid for, and the transaction therefore has been closed in a way. We're only just waiting for the item then to ship. So right here, the menu changed again. We can go ahead and print that invoice if you want to, or we can just send Sandra again an email, this time with the invoice. We do the same process. It shows the same thing, except that the button now shows view invoice for her records. So everything looks good, and also a PDF copy as well. We send that, and that's pretty much it. So now the invoice has been paid. We're good to go. We go back to the pipeline. Before we do that, let's go ahead and pretend that we just call her. So let's say we call Sandra and say, hey, we're good to go. Everything is fine. We just then go to mark done, and we can either mark it done and schedule another activity, or since this is the last one, then we just simply press done, and she's good to go. So when we go to the pipeline, we'll see that Sandra is still in preposition. She has no activities planned. We're closed. We're good to go. So she goes under the one opportunity. And at that point, we can enter the actual amount that she paid for. So we keep track of the revenue that this order has created. So that's pretty much it. As far as like the sales flow, we saw how to the opportunities enter into the system. Floral design, we enter it manually. how we converted that lead into opportunity. We manage that opportunity as a new opportunity. I'll show you the ways that we could contact the client and all the steps from new, qualified, preposition, and one. So that's basically the flow that you can do within the CRM app, and we touch a little bit on the selling. Actually, I want to show you one more thing. If you go back to the sales module now, you can actually see that under quotations, we have a floral design also showing as well. And if you click on that one, then it gives you all the details about the status of this order. So as you can see, everything is connected. And if you went in to check inventory, which we'll take a look at the catalog that we originally looked at, and go to the yellow, hello yellow, we'll see that now we have 2 available so far, since we just sold 1 more, and then it shows there are 2 sales right here. If you click on here, it will take you back to the quotation. So everything is connected within Odoo. Is one of the wonderful things about the product is like everything flows so easily, and all the information it's connected. One thing is one advantage, for instance, for those who are Odoo partners, is the fact that they do have access to the Odoo code, and that means that if they have a client that has, or they need a specific performances or specific solutions within any of these items, any of these apps, they can get in and make those changes specifically for that client and create a specific solution. And that is one of the advantages of being an Odoo partner, among many other benefits. So I think that wraps up my presentation for this solution. I think if there's any question, I would like to answer those.
Yeah.
If not, then
looks like we
get some information.
do have, let's see, a few questions here. The first, one from the code Odin. Can you create tasks from leads?
You do, yes. Good question, and we do it actually a lot here in Odoo. So if you go to a pipeline, let's go here. If you go to the edit portion of it, and then you go, let's see if I have here, source, for instance. If you go to the source, marketing source, here you can tag. You can create your own tag. So if you have a specific way to tag, or any particular way that you want to classify these clients, these customers, you can create your own tags by just creating an edit. Let's just call it tag. And you save that, and then that, of course, will literally tag the client. So anytime you do any internal search through that, it will come up, and it should come up when you search it. So yes, the answer is yes, you can do it.
Great, great. And then finally, we have one more comment here from Veli Kochak. So apparently, for him, confirming sales order is taking too much time. Do you have any advice for him? He also followed up that I guess he read that Odoo 11 is 3 times faster than version 10. So do you think would upgrading help him with his with confirming sales orders?
Yeah, I'm a little bit curious about what he means taking too long. I don't know if it's I don't know if the system takes actually a few more seconds to be delivered, or I'm not sure about what taking time, taking too long. It should get, customers should be able to receive that information immediately. It shouldn't be any delays, just an email. And once the client, confirming is what creates the invoicing. And then once you have the invoice and the customer pays for it, everything should be immediate. So there should not be any delay. I'm not sure if I got the question correctly, but that would be my answer to what I understood.
Right. He says it's 45 seconds approximately, I guess, to confirm.
Well, that can be considered slow
yeah.
nowadays, but less than a minute is pretty good. Of course, it all depends on the hosting. It depends where everything is, if it's in the cloud or if it's in a local server.
Sure.
All those details.
Well, yeah, if anything, Veli, I would recommend sending an email to Jose. He is jls@odoo.com. And so then that way, if you have any questions, then he can, help perhaps walk you walk you through it.
Definitely.
It's using Odoo Enterprise. Well, let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'd be my suggestion, to see if we could figure it out by, really getting really specific with Jose here.
Yeah.
So let's see. Barring any other questions, I think that we are about it.
Great.
I hope you're all enjoying watching the World Cup. Who are you going for, Jose?
Well, we're doing an internal thing here in the company, where we took, each one of us took a team, and mine is Argentina, so Argentina, way to go.
There we go, yeah. Let's see, don't forget, if you missed any part of this webinar, or if you would like to watch it again, you can always use the same link to watch this webinar just at your leisure. Don't forget, we also have tons of events coming up. You can stay up to date on all of those by visiting odoo.com/events. For instance, last week we had a very successful one in Chile. We will also be going to, let's see, Lima on the 19th of July, Montevideo in Uruguay the second week of August. Plus, here in the United States, we've got events coming up in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Seattle, Washington, D.C., and many more. So yeah, if you want to see us at any of our live events, like I said, check out our website, odoo.com. That's odoo.com/events.
One more thing before we wrap it up. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to remind everyone out there who is interested to become a partner or wants to get more information about becoming an Odoo partner. You can grab the same contact information that Noel has been giving to you. I can answer all those questions and maybe start a relationship together and start working together with Odoo.
Absolutely, yes. Let's see, what else am I missing? Oh yes, don't forget, of course, to like and subscribe so we can continue making these videos for you. We hope to, I guess with that being said, I believe that should cover us for today. We've got more webinars coming up this week. In fact, let's see, tomorrow we've got one in Spanish for using Odoo Inventory, and then Wednesday we have actually what Jose just mentioned, our Odoo Partnership Program in English. So if you're interested in becoming an Odoo partner, by all means, stick around or come join us tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Thank you again, thank you all for watching. We hope to see you next time. This is Noel and Odoo Live signing off.